Hello everyone, this is Violet. Welcome to this video. We're going to talk about how to think like a programmer. Have you ever stared at a problem and had no idea how to start? Programmers deal with this every day, and there is a simple method that they use to break any problem into clear steps. Today, I'll show you how to use that method. Why do we get stuck? Most problems seem hard because they are too big. You are looking at the whole mountain instead of the first step. Programmers never try to solve the whole thing at once. They reduce the problem until it becomes obvious. What I mean is, turn it into actionable steps. Step 1. Define the problem clearly. You can't solve a problem you haven't defined yet. For example, don't set your goal to learn programming, to learn coding. That's vague. You should aim for, I want to build a simple game in Scratch. Or don't say, I want to study more. That is just, again, confusing. You should say, I want to pass, for example, the exercises of chapter 3. Make it specific. Make it quantity based. You should be able to create goals that are measurable in some way so that you can create steps for reaching it, create milestones or checkpoints. Step 2. Break it into atomic steps. What I mean by atomic is small enough. Each step should be 5 to 10 minutes. If you want to build a game, you should break it down to characters, movements, collisions, and scoring. If you want to clean your room, you should break it down to floor, bed, clothes, and desk. That becomes much more manageable. I'm going to use a real life example here. Imagine you're planning to move to another country. Well, that is a really big problem. You don't know how to reach that end point. So, what you want to do is, again, create the steps to make it more comprehensible and reachable. For example, we can create a list like this. Choose the country, research visa type, create your documents and get a checklist of the documents that you need. Create an application folder, book an English exam or maybe the language that is spoken in that country, French, German, and so on. Submit and learn maybe a few simple phrases in that language. Save money weekly, monthly, and maybe the last step could be booking flights. See, moving or changing countries can be really scary until you break it down into steps that take 1 hour each. Solve the easiest piece first. Programmers usually go for the simplest one, the simplest task, the most obvious part, or maybe something that gives them momentum. In our example of moving to another country, I think the first step could be the most reachable one. You start researching different countries and choose maybe 3 to 5 countries that fit your situation the best. The last step could be test, fix, and improve. Don't forget that programmers always think like this. They don't expect perfection, they expect iteration. Don't be afraid to adjust along the way. It's pretty normal, and I think in most cases it's essential. Imagine in your journey to move to another country, you have chosen the country, you researched the visa types, and decided to migrate as a skilled worker, for example. You check out the checklist and you prepare the documents, but somewhere along the way, you realize you are not going to be able to provide the needed documents. That is a moment that you can take a step back and maybe change the visa type you are going to apply for. Or altogether, just change the whole country and maybe choose the second best option in your list. See, real life isn't perfect. Somewhere along the way, we're going to be forced to change our ways, to change our path, and that is not something to be scared of. I mean, better safe than sorry, right? Remember that it's important to choose wisely instead of finishing fast. We talked about a real life example. Why not talk about a coding one? If you tell yourself that I want to learn coding, that is not an achievable goal. That is not simple and manageable enough. You have to be able to set a clear goal and it shouldn't be vague. For example, you could say, I want to make a shooter game in Scratch. It makes sense, right? Because Scratch is a really simple language for someone that wants to learn coding, and you can make, easy and fun games and actually get fast results so that you can track your progress better. What you can do is you can create these steps. You can think about adding movement of the characters and creating the shooter or spawning the enemies. You should be able to detect the hit and also scoring, adding score to your game. That could be the steps that we need to take in order to create that game. And if you do any and if you do each of those, at the end you have a fun game in your hands that you can actually see and track your progress, and it could be a milestone for you. If you learn to break any problem into tiny pieces, you won't ever feel stuck again. This is how programmers think, and now you can too. If you found this helpful, subscribe. We have videos on learning, coding logic, and problem solving. And tell me in the comment section, what problem do you want me to break down next? Thank you for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed the lessons. And until next time.